Yo, how you doing? Today I'm gonna show you how to incrementally increase your chances of getting more bites, like 2-3 times. Roll the intro.
Rick, you mean to tell me that you're gonna show me how to catch 2 or 3 times more fish, or at least increase the chances of doing so?
Now what we're talking about here is called a split rig. Some have called it a double rig. And all you're doing here is instead of having one jig head on the end of your line, you're adding another or even another.
That's 3, Rick, that's 3.
North Akron education, y'all. Now, if you want to hear about what jig head colors are better for certain color waters, stained or clear, we have a video that we will link down in the description. You can check that out later on. But what I like to do in this circumstance when I'm split or double rigging is I like to put my heavier jig head on the bottom. And I'll explain.
Don't worry.
In this case, we're gonna pick on 2 different colors, 2 different sizes.
Now, why would you do that, Rick?
The reason is because you're gonna find out what they're hitting. In darker stained water, we know from that video that darker tones tend to work a little bit better on most occasions. So in this case, we're gonna try a fluorescent pink and a orange. Now, by fishing with 2 different colors, what we're gonna do is split rig them. We're gonna rig both of our heads on at the same time, and while they're down there jigging, not only are you gonna determine what size is gonna work better of the head, because we're using a 1/16 and a 1/32 in this case, you're also gonna find out what color is gonna work, orange or pink, or whatever colors you decide to choose. And on top of that, you can put a different color body on there, so you can see what color body is working, or even action. Maybe use a split tail where it has 2 tails on one of the heads, or maybe use a single appendage minnow on one of the other heads. It's also gonna help determine what depth is best. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna tie on our heavier jig on the bottom first. Now, why would I put it on the bottom? The reason I'm putting it on the bottom is so that it weighs the other jigs down. Now, in some states, much like the state of Ohio, you can actually use up to 3 hooks on one line. You can increase your chances 3 times instead of 2. Now, if you wanna learn what knot that I use, we also have another video that I'll link down in the description as well. If you wanna learn how to tie a good, solid, strong fishing knot that in most cases won't come off. It's a good one. Boom! The bottom head is now on the line.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Now in this case, I'm just gonna use a bubble chew minnow on this one. Remember, you can change it up. Not only is this increasing your chances because obviously you have 2 or 3 more baits than you typically would, but you're also determining what depth, what color, remember all those variables you're gonna determine. So it's gonna help you identify what they're actually hitting on. Now, where do you put your next one? Good question. What I like to do is set it about 16 inches apart. Now, why 16 inches? Because when I'm live scoping and I'm seeing the crappie, in most cases, those crappie tend to be a little closer together when they're all schooled up. The likelihood of getting it into the crappie school and getting 2 to bite at the same time is much more likely. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, do me a huge favor and comment below double rig. Thanks.
Back to the video.
So we're gonna pick it about 16 inches away. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your line and you're gonna fold it in half. You see that? See the loop? Now what I like to do is I take it together in my fingers and I give it a good solid twist. Now in doing so, it is nice and pointy now. Now all I'm doing is I'm gonna thread that point through the eye of my smaller jig head. Now the loop is all the way through that jig head. What I do is open up the top part, so now we have a loop at the top, and I feed the jig head through it and do a backflip around it again and go back through twice through the same way in the loop. Once you get it through twice, just snug it down. That knot will snug up, and boom, you are left with a jig head stuck to the line, roughly 16 to 24 inches away from your initial jig. Now, like I said, certain jurisdictions, you can check them out and you can add another one, another distance up if you so choose. Now, again, in this video, I'm gonna try another color. So in this case,
Juicy Junebug.
in this little demo here, these are both minnows. However, you can put, like I said earlier, any type of jig together with this. Now, one of the cool things about that knot is what it does is it keeps that jig head almost perfectly perpendicular to the line.
Perfectly perpendicular
to it, so that it's keeping that bait horizontal. Now you got 2 baits on the same line, cast it out, double the chances. Thank you. Now you present it to the old school of cropsters. One of them's gonna hit something. If it's gonna hit the smaller head, the 1/32 ounce with the juicy June bug, then switch both of them up to the same color. This is an easy way to identify what they're biting, at what depth,
etc.
Now you can cast these double rigs out. You can also jig them like off the side of the bridge or off the side of a boat.
Rick, I do it totally different than you. That's not the right way to do it.
Hey, listen, there's a million different ways to do the same thing, right? I'm just showing you the way that I would do it. If you have a better way to do it, hey, share it with us below. We'd love to hear it. Maybe we can all learn something together. This method, though, has worked for me countless times. I have had literally 3 crappie on the line all at once. It works well. Hey, we hope you found value in this video. We appreciate you watching this far. If you want to learn other how-tos, go ahead and click this playlist up here. If you want to watch the most recent video on if crappie guides are worth it, click here. And if you'd subscribe, click that little circle right over there. Hey, we appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe, smash that thumbs up, ring that notification bell so you're getting all the juicy notifications. Share it with your favorite friend, and we will see you on the next one. Woo!